Okay, still connecting. Just connected already. Recording 1, 2. All right, so hello everyone. Hope you are doing great, like the way I am doing great. So what we are up against here today is going to be a setup for C++ development. So yeah, I think we had this before, and we're just going to pull through it again. So in this, we're going to be looking at how we're going to turn our computers into where or an environment where we can write our C++ code. The same can also work for Windows, for C. If you are a C developer, you can also go ahead and use this very same setup, or maybe say the same video and follow the steps to install a compiler for your C, that is GCC, and we should be able to write your C programs in Windows quite faster and easier. So that's what we're going to do. We'll show you briefly also how to use Visual Studio Code as well to turn it into an environment. That's in case you don't want to go the long way of command line tools. I just go ahead and use Visual Studio Code, which is also easier. The reason why people normally don't prefer MSYS2 is because of setting up environment, which sometimes can give you a little bit of a headache, but I believe that's not going to be the case for you. So let's go back. Let's continue from here. All right. So now in this, what you'll learn is basically just how to set up your environment using MySys2. You're going to install it. Once you install it, you're going to use it to set up your compilers and some other build tools for C++ and C as well. Because when you install the build tools for C++, it comes as with the G compiler for C also. That's why I was saying if you want to go ahead and program in C or write C code, C programming language, you can still use this very same video to set up your environment, and you follow the same procedure. Then I'm going to show you shortly also how to do the same in Visual Studio Code. That's in case you don't want to use MySys2. So you can choose either MySys2 option, or maybe say you can go for VS Code. Either way, they're all going to be helpful for you. Then secondly is going to be writing our first C++ program. So we're going to write an hello world program in C++. We compile it and then we run and see how it works. Then lastly, we shall try to go ahead and change the program a little bit, the hello world program, update it, modify it in a way or two, and it should be able to give us some feel of how to write your own application, how to write your own code. Okay, so maybe the only question is, what is actually MySys2? It's just, I would call it a software. It's open sourced and it's basically for Windows platform specifically. It turns our Windows platform from just a native Windows platform into what we call a Unix environment, which more like a Linux environment, allowing you to run your code, install the C++ compilers, install the C compilers, which do not run purely on Windows, but it needs a Unix environment. So it comes up with those features. Apart from that, it has an interface which is a little bit elevated compared to the Windows command prompt and some other different libraries, or what we call collections of the different GNL tools and other open source tools, which is very helpful, like we're going to see shortly, for programming in C++. So what we're going to use afterwards is going to be its package manager, which is called Pacman. With Pacman, we shall be able to install applications or packages in the C++ environment that help us in writing the C code. Think of Pacman as pip if you have ever used Python, or maybe say npm if you run Node.js. So those are the kind of tools we're looking at. Then the Mint JW tool chain is what we are going to be really interested in, because that's what turns our computer now into an environment for C++, because it comes up with a compiler for our C++, and that's the major thing that we are interested in. Apart from that, there's also a debugger. If you enter any code and then you find an error, you can go ahead and use that tool, debugger tool, to find out the error and then solve it. It also gives us now a little bit elevation on in terms of error. If we write a code, it can highlight for us the line of code which has an error, and we go ahead and correct it immediately, rather than going to scan through the whole of your lines of code and find out which error and where is it coming from. So this one helps us a little bit and makes our work a little bit faster by just pushing us to that specific line where the error is coming from. Great. So in MySys2, you're going to find the full compiler for our JCC, that is for C. And then for C++, it's also going to be there. And then the Pacman manager, which we use for installing these other packages, even the tool chain for the C. And it's also has some APIs which are compatible with, I would say compatible with Windows API, but we're not going to into the details of all that. If you choose the VS Code way, you're going to realize that VS Code, as you know, or maybe say if you have ever installed it, if you see this screen here a little, you realize that VS Code is not very heavy on our computer, so we can run it on any minimal computer. Why? Because it's lightweight, it doesn't have those heavy dependencies that it requires, and it's a little bit fast. And it has a number of extensions that we can install to run our C++ code. So that's the beauty of VS Code as well. And its terminal is already integrated in there. So when you want to run the code, we just have VS Code. Unlike MySys2, where we're going to have our text editor or the IDE where we're writing our code, then maybe see another place to run our code. It's free. You don't need to pay for anything. Even MySys2 is also free. All these tools I'm going to show you today is free. You don't need to pay for. So free and open source. That is, you're able to modify it the way you want it at any point in time. So this is the steps that we're going to follow. We're going to stop in this screen a little bit and go and see how to do this thing practically. So we're going to go to this website called MySys2.org, and then we shall download the installer for MySys2. We install it on our Windows machine, and after we have already installed that, we shall it will open for us a terminal, which we are going to run the Pacman manager, and then we update our packages. After we have updated the packages, we're going to install our JCC compiler or the JCC tool using this command here, pacman-s, and then the tool chain we're interested in is this main GW. X64 is simply just for a Windows 64-bit machine. If you have your Windows runs a 32-bit machine, this is not going to be working for you. Basically, MySys2 does not run on Windows bit if it's a 32-bit machine. So if your architecture is a 32-bit machine, then you probably may need to upgrade or go for VS Code. So let's go to this website. I'm going to right click here, click on that. It's just going to open for me MySys2. Then I'll come down here under the installer right here. Let me just maximize this screen a little so that you can see it. So when you come here, I'm going to choose this one here for my X62. That is a 62-bit machine. After that, it's going to download for me. I'll just click on it. It will start the download here. If you see on the sides, it's a little bit faster. Okay. Then once it has already finished that, I'm going to install it. So how to install it? I'll just click on the file and then it will install. So these are the steps that we are going to encounter as we install that. When I open up this file, click on open the file. I'm going to click it from there. If you don't want to, you can open it in the folder and you go ahead and install it from there. But opening it from here is just the same thing as well. So I'm just going to do it from right here. So afterwards, it takes me here where I'm going to choose the installation folder. It's going to be in MySys64. I'm going to leave it as that, change nothing. Okay, I'm still going to leave the start menu folder like that. I'm going to change nothing. Now it's going to run the installation, which should not take so long. Usually should not take so long. And as it installs, I do prefer running Notepad++ for my text editor if I want to keep everything simple. If you want something fancy, then probably you need to go back and install VS Code. But if you want to keep everything simple the way I want it, then come here and install Notepad++. You download it and install. Because if there is going to be any other practical classes, we're going to have practical sessions, then we shall be using Notepad++ for the whole time. But if we go ahead and start using something else, maybe say those who will opt for VS Code, then if you go for VS Code, you don't need to download and install Notepad++. You just go ahead and start using your VS Code. So I'm going to choose the latest stable version, which is going to be this. I'll choose this for simplicity. Why? Because in case there is an update, I want it to update itself immediately. So once I come to this page, I'm going to click on download. So I click on this and it's also going to download for me the installer immediately. Once the installer is already there, I can go back again to my folder and open it up. Let me see if I have Notepad++ installed already. If it's not yet installed, then I'm going to go through that same procedure, or maybe say follow that particular step, and then I'll install Notepad++. Okay, so let me just assume I have Notepad++. So if it's there, then I don't probably need to go ahead and install it. But if it's not there, well, like I can't see it among the search here, that means I don't have it. Since I don't have it, let me first check if this installation is already done. We're at 48%, still finishing. Okay, I think I may need to just speed up this process a little and should be able to go. So I wanted to find out if I have the install already for Notepad++. Now, if I don't have one, then that's still well and good. Let me see if this one has already finished. So we keep on holding on for it a little bit to finish out packing. So the next component is now installing the components for MySYS2, which is finishing up faster. I have the installer here already open. Let me just open up the folder where it is found. Okay. All right, as it finish up with the installation. Oh, I think I don't have Notepad++ installed. Yep, so I don't have it. So since I don't have Notepad++, uh, okay, I do have Notepad++ actually. Yes, I do have Notepad++. So I don't need to go ahead and install it in this case. Let me just wait for this component to finish up installing. Once it does finish installing, then we can go ahead and start our dev. So for any of this one here, you're going to test it later. Okay. Let me minimize these ones here. Then I just leave these two. So these are the ones that we have just installed today. Downloaded today. I can start another. Okay, great. So this one has finished. So I'll click on the finish button, which immediately will open for me a terminal. And after opening the terminal here, let me maximize this a little. So I'm going to increase the size. Okay. Right. So it has opened up the terminal. Now the next step after running the installer is to update our packages using pacman. So I'm going to write pacman, and then I update the. So you type this command for updating your packages before you go ahead and install your GCC toolchain for the compilation. So it's going to run. If your network is faster, it should take a few minutes. If it's not fast, then it may take some time. Okay. All right. So let's say yes, I want to proceed with the installation of all that. Let me give it some minutes to finish its installation. I actually have C++ already installed, but if yours is not yet installed, let me open up that. If yours is not installed, you'll come to this folder, double click on it, and you follow the prompts. So as you wait for it to install, like me personally, I already have in. So it's going to ask you for permission here. Then you can say yes to it if you want the installation to continue, or no. Like for me, I've already installed it. I'm going to click on no. But for you who have not yet finished installation, you have to go aside and say yes. Here also you may keep typing yes, etc. for everything to work for you. Okay, so no at the moment. Let me not update it at the moment. I'm going to do that later on. So let me just remove these two for now. We're going to come back here later. Okay. So let me open MySys2, which has already finished downloading. So I come and type MySys2, then I click on it. It's going to open for me. So here it has already installed. I've finished the download. So I'm going to install let me close this one here. I'm going to come down here. The package which I want is going to be the JCC, and not this one here. Okay, it's not here, but I know its name. I actually have it here on the slide. So this is the one I'm interested in installing. Okay. So you could just copy this command the way it is like this, and then you paste it on your pacman. Or if you trust your brain, you just come and type it here. So you say pacman, then you say install, update, install here, GW 6W64, and it's a minus x60, x86 64 underscore 64. Then I'm going to put this command here on the description so that you don't need to worry yourself so much. But again, if you don't want that, you'll just come and right click and then paste whatever you have copied the other side, which is still again the same thing. So you press enter. After that, it's going to install for you. There we go. Just press Y. It's because it asks you whether you want to proceed with the installation, and then you go ahead and press Y. So you press the key Y and then enter, meaning yes, I want to go ahead and install that. So after it has finished installation, we may need to update, or maybe say add something, edit our environment variable a little in Windows. So I'm going to click on here, search. Okay, so you search here, then you say edit, right, type the word edit, then the system environment variable. Even before you finish, it will already highlight it here. So you just come and click on this. Okay. So after you have clicked it, it should open for you a panel where you're going to proceed with adding the JCC compiler to your environment variable, such that next time you open the terminal, you just, once you press JCC, Windows immediately recognizes it as one of the commands that exist there. So once this terminal has opened, when you type edit the system environment variable, you come here and choose environment variables. Click on that. We're just going to open for you this. Then once it has opened, you come to path. Then you click on edit path. Okay. So inside here, inside edit path, you're going to click on new. So new, well, after you've clicked on new, you're going to type this directory slash where JCC has been installed, the tool chain that we have just installed here. This one which I've just installed. Basically this one here, the main JW, it installed for us a JCC compiler. So what you're going to do, especially for C++, but if you're interested for C also, we're going to add it here. So what we're going to do here, we're going to type its directory where it's found. We install it in a folder called MSYS2 on local disk D or local drive D, MSYS2 64, that is the name of the folder. Then inside that folder, we have another folder called min.gw 64 and inside that folder we have another folder called bin. So inside our bin, that's where our compiler is found. If you're not sure about that, just come to your Windows, then you go to your local disk C. Once local disk C is open, you click on MSYS2. Then here, min JW64. You double click that. Then inside here, you come and click on the folder. Open the folder bin. You'll see your C++ application here, C files, everything there. Then you just come up on top here where you find the folder names, this PC, local disk C, MySys64, min JW64, then bin. Click outside here, around here. Click on that. Then you just copy Control C or right click and then click on copy, either way. Then you come back to your environment variable right here. Then you paste it here. If you had not yet written it before, you paste it here. Then once that one is done, you click on OK. Sometimes you may, if you want every other users in this Windows to use that also, you come to the system variable as well. Under path, you click on path, then edit path, and you come and click on new, and you add the path that you had copied from your folder here. Then once that one is done, you click on OK. Then you just keep on clicking OK. Then OK. And everything should be done. So once that one is already done, you can exit here or close this terminal and open it again. So I'll close that terminal. I open command prompt cmd. Once I open it and I type once I type JCC, I should see something here. Now it says no input file, so it needs me to enter a file. If I type J++, which is for C++, again, I should, now this one tells me that my compilers are working and ready to be used. Okay, so that's how you install your C++ compiler on Windows. All right, so still good to go. That is basically how we were doing it. Now let's continue to the next step. After we have already installed our compiler and we have tested its running. So what's up next? What do we have else in the store? Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. All right, so let's continue. Maybe you decide to go ahead and use VS Code. So again, the same thing you're going to do, you're going to open up this link, you go and install, download the installer for VS Code. You run that particular installer and you launch your VS Code. So once you have launched your VS Code, you'll open VS Code, then you go to the extensions section. In the extension section, when you open the extension on the left side of the menu bar, you'll look for this extension, C++. Basically, I would prefer the one by Microsoft because that one is the one which is basically, I would say, trusted. Then Code Runner. You can choose by any other author, but I prefer for the one for John Han. It works perfectly. Then the CMake tools. This is where we're going to get our compiler for running our C++ code. So anytime you click on this one here, make sure you click on the install buttons on the side, or just click on the extension. It will open for you a window on the right hand side, still on that very same screen. Then around here, you go ahead and click on the install. Or if you're still on the side, the panel for the extensions, you just click on the install. It will start installing the extensions that you have chosen here immediately. Okay, so once everything is already done, our environment is set, whether it's on VS Code or maybe say it's on the terminal using my MSYS2, which is what we're going to use in this class. Now you can go to the next step. And the next step is writing your your C++ code. So usually what I prefer doing is you first create a folder somewhere, whether it's on the C drive, or maybe say it's on the desktop, or maybe say it's on the documents, anywhere. Create a folder, and in that particular folder, we are going to put our C++ code. So the name of the folder can be anything. You can call it a project, you can call it any other thing. Now, if you're using C++ in VS Code, you're going to open that folder in VS Code. So you right click on that folder and you say open with, you will find the option for VS Code. If you don't want to use that, you just open that particular folder, then we run back to our notepad++, as we are going to do. Then we're going to create a file, and then we shall name it, give it that particular name, say main.cpp or hello.say cpp or any other thing. So once you create that file, we're going to type this code here. This is our first C++ code, which is an hello world program. So going back to our notepad++, I remember opening it, so let me go there. So I've opened, when you open up your C++ code, you come to file and then you click on new. So click on new, it will create for you a new file. What I usually do first is save the file. So go to file, then save as. Okay. After that, I type the name of my file. So in my slide, I call it main.c++. So what you need to do next, on the file name, you type the name of the file, then its extension. Then on the save as type, click on it and look for C++ source file, which in this case is this one here. So you look for C++ source file and you click on it. So I click on that, then later on now I can click on save. Okay, now my file is saved as a C++ code. Then I come back and we write this code here. Okay, this is the code that we're going to write to run our code as our hello world program. So the first thing we do is we import the library, which we're going to explain that later, not today. Okay. So say hash include. What are we including? We're going to include the ISO streams. So the IOS stream is just basically the input and output library streams. Then we create our main method. Main method in C++ is our entry. It's like a door to any house. If you want to enter your house, you must use a door. Sometimes you can use a window if there's no another way forward, but we use a door. So this is the entry point where we're going to start running our program from. So the first line that just want to do here, we just want to display a message called hello world. So we're going to just greet people. Hello world from C++. Okay, as simple as that. Then once Saturn is already done, we can, maybe let me create a new line, std and del. Okay, then we return 0. If everything is successful, we are going to return 0. Once you return 0, it tells the compiler, or maybe say the operating system, that my code has finished successfully, the software ran successfully, and there is nothing wrong. So you click on save, or you come here, file, then click on save, or you just click on Control S on your keyboard and you'll be able to save your code. All right, now the next step is going to be running our code. The good question is, where did we save our code? That's what we didn't think about earlier. But what I would always prefer is, like I've said, you go and create a folder. So where you have created that folder, like for instance, if we are just saving it right now, we would look for where we have saved the folder. Say maybe we had saved it on desktop. So you click on desktop and you saved it on with a name called Daniel. So you click on Daniel. So inside Daniel, you can save your code. So inside Daniel, you now type the name of your file, .cpp. You come to the save as type, you look for C++ source file, and then you click on save, and it will save for you that. So once it's already saved, you come to the command line prompt, cmd, type cmd here, and then you choose command prompt. Okay, it's going to open for us command prompt. Now you have to go to the location where the folder where you have saved your file. So the folder where we have saved our file is in desktop. So I'm going to cd. The easiest way to do it will just be going to desktop, open the folder, file explorer, go to desktop, and then double click on that. Then come inside here. Inside here, you type cmd. You type on cmd where there was the name of the folders, and you click on enter. It will immediately open a command prompt where inside that particular folder, and I do dir, I can see the name of my C++ code, right? The name of the file that has my C++ code. Okay, that's how. If maybe say you didn't open it like that, then you have to use the change directory command cd to navigate the folders. Mine is in OneDrive. Then inside OneDrive, I have desktop. I have now desktop. If you want to know where you are, you just type dir in that particular folder. Then you'll be able to see where you are. So when I type dir, that is describe directory or list directory in Linux, I should be able to see the content of that particular folder. And then I can go to now desktop. Okay. Then inside desktop, I have a folder called Daniel. So I type cd, then Daniel. Now, if I check the contents of this folder, I should be able to see the name of my file. Okay. All right, that should be enough. Then now I can run my C++ code. So to run the C++ code, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to type the compiler name. Our C++ compiler is called J++, then space, the name of your file, which is main.cpp. And then the output -o is going to be our output, or maybe say our objects file. The object file is going to be the executable that we are going to run. So this one can be anything. Usually I prefer using the same name of my file, which in this case is going to be a name. But this one here can be anything. Can be like hello, or you can give it like say Daniel. But I just prefer using the name of the file because it's a little bit intuitive. When I look at it, I just easily understand. So I click on that. When I type enter, if I get any error like this, great, it's good that I made the mistake. So if I get any error like this, if you come, this is how easy it is now. The improved versions are very easy to deal with. So it says that on the file called C++, in the function called int main, then in that particular file C plus main.cpp, on line number 4, there is an error found. We found a single colon in a nested namespace, but it expected a double colon. So this is how you interpret your errors, okay? So now even it displays for you the code which is on line number 4. So this is the code that we have on line number 4, std double colon cout, two angle brackets, and a string hello world from C++. Then here, now if you know what C++ is, then we better know that this one here is an error, because this naming space, this is not the syntax of creating a naming space and using the content in that naming space. Now, but we need a double space, a double colon, and that's why it's actually highlighting for us here. So the best thing to do is run back to our code, go to line number 4 and correct this as single quote here and add one more to make it a double quote. So I'll go and click on this, then come to line number 4, which is here. Then I look for where the error was, which is right here. I add the double quote like that. Then I click on Control S, or I come here and then I click on save. Once you have already saved it, the first time you're going to save it, that's when you use save as. Then you type the name of your file and then the save as type. But then once you have already saved it, any update that you put here, any change, you just type Control S. So go back to our command here, then we compile again. So we compile, it's going to be main.cpp, and our object code is going to be stored inside, or our executable is going to be stored inside a file called main. Okay, if you don't see any output now after running this, if there is nothing here, then you know that your code compiled successfully. And to run it, you type the name that you had entered here earlier. The name which came after -o, or after the object, is what we are going to type here. So on Windows, we just type it like this, main, and then it will work. On Linux, or maybe say any Unix system, you're going to type, let me say, full stop, then /, then the name of the file. But for Windows, if I type this, it's going to give me an error. It says that one is not recognized. But then here on Windows, we just type the name of the file. So when I press enter here, it should display me hello world from C++. So basically, that's how we write our C++ code, how we compile and run it using a J++ as its compiler. Now, the next task in our slide or in our presentation is to go ahead and do this practical task. First, modify the message. So you're going to change the message a little, change the text to print hello, your name, instead of printing hello from C++. So this one is going to be hello space comma space Daniel, hello comma space your name, or whatever your name is. Then we're going to add multiple lines. So we're going to have to print, you're going to go ahead and print hello Daniel, hello Jimmy, hello John, hello Jane, many times, okay, using the std out. That's so what is on line number 4, you're going to replicate it, this line number 4, which displays just hello world, you're going to replicate this and we display. So what you're going to change basically only is going to be the content within this string here. So that's how you create more, display multiple outputs. Then maybe to be a little bit more, I would say this one maybe say will come in the next practical session, but if you want to test yourself, go with variables. If we have introduced variables already, create two variables which stores integer numbers and then add them together and display their results. Then maybe say later on, if you want to test yourself a little, which is where we have not yet reached, creating functions, maybe you can test this, but it's even fine if you don't try it out, because that is going to come up later and probably in the other practical sessions that it will be coming. Okay, I think that should be enough. Other things is going to come in later, like the different core concepts. We're going to introduce variables and data types, control flows, functions, all those that I wanted you to create in the test. It's going to come in later. Then classes, we're going to see that. Then what you need to do starting today, make sure you write each and every day, try to write at least one line of code in C++. Not just one line of code, but a code that can do something. Maybe say it displays a name, maybe say adds two numbers, maybe say get the average of two numbers, or even perform some other complex tasks, which we're going to see later. Then as that one continues on, later on you'll have to go ahead and build a simple project. Like we try to create a game, we try to create a calculator, or maybe say any other thing that we are going to learn and where you're going to be able to apply your knowledge and skills that you have already learned in the practical sessions that we shall be having later on. Well, I think that should be enough for today. Any questions, please put in the comments. Whatever you want us to cover again later, you put it also here, or maybe say you can ask directly. All right, that should be enough. And I think I will upload this later, the video, and then you can still access it and review it. If maybe say you are not able to grasp everything. If something is not clear, go back, rewatch the video, pause, do the task, come back and watch the video again until you can grasp it. If you can't get it again, put the comments, put it in the comment section. So we should be able to respond and help in a short while. Okay, that should be it. Enjoy. Happy coding. Happy being C++ programmers. See you probably in the next practical session. Enjoy.